Since 1800, Washington Lodge Number 21 has stood as a beacon of brotherhood and integrity, a testament to the values of Freemasonry. This lodge carries George Washington's legacy forward, shaping men into leaders, mentors, and pillars of their communities. Through centuries of change, its doors have welcomed those from all walks of life, bound by a shared mission to seek wisdom, uphold virtue, and strengthen the ties that unite us. This is more than a lodge. This is a tradition of excellence. This is Washington Lodge Number 21 of Free and Accepted Masons.
Here's a banquet that we had, booth at Masonic Fair in 1886. Washington Lodge Number 21, there it is, 1886. Washington Lodge was founded on March 5th, 1800, which was just a few months after George Washington died. It's important to know that Washington Lodge is not the only lodge named after George Washington, but it is the oldest surviving lodge with George Washington's name. And this little book here, they say, is one of the reasons George Washington was the way he was. Associate yourself with men of good quality if you esteem your own reputation, for 'tis better to be alone than in bad company. That's a famous quote. One of the exciting things about reading Washington's history is how much personal growth there was. I mean, look, Washington was a slave owner. His family were slave owners. And yet later in his life, I think around 1786, he says, "No man on earth wants to see the end of slavery more than I do." And he did free his slaves upon his death, or really his wife's death. So that's amazing transformation. This is someone whose wealth was defined by slaves. But he was an exceptional man because he grew as a human being. Washington's principles continued into the founding of the lodge. And he very much believed in the Brotherhood of Men. There's references to him believing that he's part of a much larger brotherhood than even the United States, that he was very proud that in the Masonic fraternity he had brothers all around the world. Acting on the square is an important concept in Freemasonry, that you're someone whose word can be trusted, someone who's not going to take obligations lightly. Many Masonic symbols come from the working tools of a Freemason, and we've interpreted them as ways to bring honor and ethical behavior to Masons. Washington Lodge 21 has continued in existence for 225 years because of the participation of brothers, sticking with it through some very tough times. Men of this lodge, of Washington Lodge, see a world that's bigger than themselves and want to make a difference in it.
What Masonry really does is to bring it to the forefront of your attention. Part of what Masons are taught is essentially to be upstanding members of the community, to set an example for the rest in terms of your integrity, your character, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you behave generally.
Being a first African-American member of the lodge, I didn't know if I would encounter any racism or anything that would make me feel that I didn't belong. I was able to find myself fully immersed in a group of men that were like-minded, and we all have the same goal: be better people. And I see brothers from all walks of life. You could be the head of a billion-dollar corporation, you could be a street sweeper. In the lodge, we're all on a level.
I would say the number one thing which I learned from another brother that is to greet him. Just by being greeted, like the doors were open to me.
It's about paying it forward. And it's something that I've encouraged my children to also make it a part of their lives, that they not take for granted what they have, but understand that it's about making other people feel good, feel better, feel great.
By coming to lodge for a moment, and for a moment of wisdom and clarity, those fears and stresses disappear. And I think that continues. This is a place to sense the equality of men, not their differences.